Okay, so this is why HSE Matters. Ada beberapa sampel of life saving rules. Petronas panggil Zito rules, Shell panggil life saving rule, IOGP panggil life saving rules lah. It depends on the what we call appetite of the company. Okay, ada 10, ada 12, ada 16, banyak. Okay, this is the common hazard while working at offshore. Saya cakap kalau dalam production stage where hanyalah operate sahaja, dia punya hazard is more on the hydrocarbon in the nature lah, hydrocarbon in the nature, where dia ada dekat sama ada dalam oil, dalam kita punya wells, kita punya vessel, kita punya piping, itu dia punya the biggest hazard. Tapi bila masuk maintenance punya part, dia akan ada banyak. Dia akan ada working at a high, confined space, manual handling, and then dia ada inspection and testing punya hazard, chemical hazard. So dia akan ada banyak benda yang boleh introduce risk to the people. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. This is the... Okay. So when we talk about the HSE, what does really matter? What are the things that really matter? It is the hazard management. Okay. So we identify the hazard, we assess the hazard, and we have to control. Next on the hazard management is the hierarchy of control. Okay, the hierarchy of control. For those who been exposed to the HSE, I believe you guys understand the hierarchy of control. The elimination, substitution, engineering control, admin, and PPE. Okay, most of people are saying that, oh, kita boleh je buat kerja ni pakai PPE settle. Pernah dengar? Siapa-siapa yang dah pernah bekerja, biasanya kita akan dengar lah ayat tu. But ayat tu adalah ayat yang sangat tak boleh diguna pakai lah. Okay. PPE adalah something yang kita cakap the last barrier. Bila kita cakap pasal the last barrier, kita kena ada multiple barrier before kita resort to PPE. Okay. However, kita tak boleh nak eliminate hazard. Contoh, cara paling senang sebenarnya tak nak ada incidents, eliminate lah hazard. What is the hazard that we are talking about? Adalah hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon. Sebab kita nak pergi ke offshore, kita nak extract hydrocarbon. That is our main hazard. So kita tak nak involve in incident. Kita eliminate lah that particular hazard tu. Tak perlulah extract minyak. Tapi kalau kita tak extract minyak, tak adalah duit. Betul? So elimination tak boleh. Substitution pun tak boleh. So kita more on the engineering control and admin control right now. Engineering control, bila kita nak extract minyak tu, apa yang engineering control yang kita kena ada? Macam tadi tu kita ada smoke and gas, kita ada ERA, kita ada FEA, and even kita ada piping with the rating, valve with the rating. The actual rating tu adalah kita punya engineering control, kita punya safeguard. And then kita masuk pula dengan kita punya BOP, kita punya Christmas tree, kita punya triple SV valve, double SV valve, kita punya blowdown valve, kita punya ESD valve. So dia ada banyak benda yang kita kena tengok, yang kita kena safeguard before the incident may happen. And for those yang pernah dengar pasal HSE, I hope you pernah dengar pasal alap and you boleh faham alap. Okay? Alap ni adalah as low as reasonably practicable. So kalau kita nak buat terlalu betul-betul, maknanya kita eliminate lah. Tak perlulah extract apa semua. So kita tak ada duit. Tapi kalau kita buat terlalu banyak, the cost tu pula sangat tinggi, then kita punya ROI pula tak dapat. So it's a fine line between what to do and what not to do. Kita cari dekat tengah-tengah tu apa yang okey. Yang ni kita boleh pakai. Yang ni kita boleh safeguard people tapi dia punya cost tak terlalu tinggi. So that's how we play with the alam. And what else is we can refer to best other operator, other standards yang memang dah buat. Oh, dia buat macam ni, okay. So we can emulate the best practices. Okay. In order to manage the hazard management, bila kita nak buat hazard management, first and foremost kita kena ada leadership and commitment. Leadership ni is normally our top leader lah. Okay. So we call it HSE management system, or even currently kita dah panggil ISO MS 45001 is more go on the plan, do, check, back. So at the plan stage, there are the leadership commitment, policy, organization, responsibility, resource, standard documentation, hazard and effect management process, and planning and procedure. Okay, before kita nak buat something, before kita nak kacau hazard ni, kita dah kena ada nombor 4 ni. Nombor 4 ni is the heart of HSE MS ataupun ISO 45001, hazard and effect management. Why? Because kita nak kacau hazard tu. So kita nak kena tahu, kalau hazard macam ni, apa management proses dia, apa yang kita nak buat. Hazard ni akan effect dia macam ni. So this is how nombor 4 ni comes in place lah. Dan bila dia dah ada tu, dia akan buat pula plan. Dia buat plan dengan prosedur dia. Okay, planning dia macam ni. Kalau benda ni jadi, ni akan buat. So dia lebih kepada managing things. Okay. Dan daripada situlah ada leadership and commitment, policy. So it's more on the plan punya part. This is the most important part lah. Okay, planning stage. Bila kita dah plan, kita dah buat ABC apa semua, then kita akan pergi ke do stage. Do stage is where the implementation is been done. Dekat sini kita buat, kita monitor. Lepas tu kita akan pergi check. And then kita akan buat review. Okay, kalau konsep, I would like to talk about the concept of risk assessment tadi tu, yang Zulaika bagi contoh. Okay, risk assessment tu adalah dekat sini. Nombor 4 dan nombor 5 ni lah. Bila you ada encounter things yang you nak buat. Contoh, kalau kita ambil contoh construction risk assessment. Okay. You dekat bahagian hazard and effect management process ni. You buat risk assessment. Okay, kalau macam ni, kita kena buat A. Okay, and then you documented it. You will be document it is under the planning and procedure. Then you go for, bila dah semua dah okay, semua dah been endorsed, been approved, then you akan pergi ke implementation and monitoring stage. And you akan buat kerja tu with all the agreed control and recovery barrier yang you dah letak dalam business assessment tadi. Then you akan monitor. Based on this particular yang we agree, ni semua ni, ada tak incident that may happen? Kita monitor. Dan kita buat audit and assurance. Kita tengok whether benda ni semua ni cukup tak? Okay tak bila kita buat? Adakah incident boleh happen lagi? So itu assurance kita. And then kalau ada finding and all, kita akan go to the management review. Kita akan tengok whether okay tak okay, boleh tak kita nak buat ni lagi, kita patut buat macam ni lagi untuk for the next, ataupun kita boleh ada something yang kita boleh improve. Okay, that's the PDCA punya concept. Okay, And during production operation punya safety, I would say, the most important part adalah safe system of work. Safe system of work ni, they consist of lots of other things. For those yang pernah dengar PTW and HSE, that is the mother lah, the mother of safe system of work. Okay. PTW, what is PTW? PTW is more on the kebenaran untuk you buat kerja dekat I punya site, I punya facility. Okay, that is PTW, permit to work. Saya memberi kebenaran untuk you buat kerja dekat tempat saya. And then kita akan ada dekat situ akan ada JHA. JHA adalah some sort of risk assessment, which is activity-based risk assessment. Then normally PTW juga akan associated with the energy isolations, ignition source control. So this is how PTW play the roles. Okay, PTW ni dia akan bagi tahu, okay, if you nak kerja kat sini, you have to know what are the zone dekat sini. Hazardous areas classification zone, zoning tu. Sama ada di zone 0, zone 1, zone 2 or non-hazardous zone area. So dekat sini je dia ada lots of things. It is actually how we want to measure the effectiveness bila kita buat kerja, the energy, the isolate, the control. So there's other lots of things, and that is part of safe system of work. And when we talk about the production, kita takkan dapat lari dengan SIMOP. SIMOP ni simultaneous operation, where not only production sahaja, yang tu yang akan ada maintenance, collective maintenance works. Macam contoh tadi, saya tadi tunjuk gambar orang dekat scaffold hanging tu kan. Tu dia tengah buat maintenance works dekat jacket lab. So itu simultaneous operation. Not only operation biasa, tapi ada kerja-kerja lain juga. Okay. I nak cerita sikit pasal ni. Ada dua benda yang I nak cakap. Kita dalam dunia safety, dia ada dua benda yang paling besar. Sama ada technical safety ataupun operation safety. Technical safety ni is more technical safety ataupun kita banyak engage sekarang ni process safety lah. Process safety dengan operation safety, if you can see here, gambar ni pecah. Okay. Operational safety, dia punya frekuensi tinggi. Tapi dia punya incidence rate, severity dia tak terlalu teruk. Bukanlah tak terlalu teruk, tapi kalau fatality is normally on the single fatality. Tapi kalau we talk about the process safety, dia punya incident frekuensi dia sangat rendah, tapi severity dia sangat tinggi. Okay, this is ni penting. Okay, I simplify dulu. This is the most important part bila kita production. So kita akan ada banyak major hazard assessment lah. Kita ada kalau untuk offshore kita akan rely more on kita punya HSE case. Tapi kita ada PHA. And then kalau macam contoh operation safety punya incidents, kita akan tackle it more on the activity risk assessment. That's why it's coming from the HSE, it's come from the CRA, it's come from the PRA, project risk assessment and all. And then for the activity based, say macam that lies with the PTW's punya jurisdiction, it will cover under JHA. Okay. And then, okay.
July 6th, 1988. 120 miles northeast of Scotland. The Piper Alpha oil rig. At 14,000 tons and 2.5 times the height of the Statue of Liberty, it is one of the largest rigs in the world.
Piper Alpha was the world's most successful oil rig. What that means was that in a single day, Piper Alpha produced more barrels of oil than any other oil rig or oil platform in the world.
A crew of 226 rotate shifts to keep the oil and gas flowing. Jeff Bollins is the chief control room operator that evening. At 9:45 p.m., Jeff suddenly hears an alarm, indicating a problem with one of the rig's condensate pumps.
Them condensate injection pumps tripped more than any other equipment we had. No panic, we knew we needed to get it back on because it was going to start affecting production.
That evening, Pump A is offline for maintenance, leaving just Pump B working. The same pump that's now been shut down by the alarm's trip system.
The condensate pumps were an integral part of the production facility. You couldn't have them both offline for any great length of time without shutting down everything.
To avoid a full shutdown, a decision is made to halt maintenance on Pump A and bring it back online. But what nobody knows is that Pump A has a fatal flaw. During maintenance, its safety valve has been removed, meaning that there is nothing to stop thousands of cubic feet of gas escaping into the atmosphere. The faulty pump is switched back on. Then, at 9:55 p.m., disaster. A spark suddenly ignites the escaping gas, and an explosion rips through the rig. Confronted by 700-degree flames, most of the 226-strong crew are now either dead or severely injured.
The nearest analogy is that it was a cross between Titanic and the Towering Inferno.
All hell was breaking loose on that rig. It was just a scene for hell. It's the only way you could describe it, a scene of absolute carnage and hell. Flames, explosions, debris. Things were escalating so fast at that point, it was almost impossible to take things in.
By 10 to midnight, less than 2 hours after the initial blast, the Piper Alpha is on the verge of collapse. Finally, the rig's legs start to give way, and the Piper Alpha starts to slide into the...
Okay. So basically what happened in Piper Alpha is more on combination of both process safety and also operation safety. Okay, so this incident is actually changing the whole landscape of HSE in oil and gas industry. So basically what happened there is actually dia isolate, but the communication is not there lah, between the previous crew and the current incoming crew. Dia tak nampak dia punya lock out, take out, where the valve is being the valve is already isolate, it's already been take out. So benda tu cause the operation safety punya part leads to the process safety punya incidents. That is why kita tak boleh nak cakap, process safety is one thing. Operation safety is one thing. They actually are working together to ensure everyone can go home safely lah.